Greetings for the day, dear students. I'll continue my discussion on structure of proteins. In my previous lecture, I had told you about the primary structures of protein, and today I'll tell you about the secondary structure of proteins. The term secondary structure denotes the configurational relationship between residues which are about 3 to 4 amino acids apart in the linear sequence. And in fact, the tertiary and the secondary structures of proteins are stabilized by non-covalent forces or the bonds like hydrogen bond, electrostatic bonds, hydrophobic interactions, and van der Waals forces. The secondary structure was given by Pauling and Corey, and which has described the secondary structure in two forms, that is alpha helix and beta plated sheets. The alpha helix is the most common and stable conformation for a polypeptide chain. In proteins like hemoglobin and myoglobin, the alpha helix is abundant, whereas it is virtually absent in chymotrypsin. So first we will take the alpha helix. It is a spiral structure. The polypeptide bonds form the backbone and the side chains of amino acids extend outwards. The structure is stabilized by hydrogen bonds between NH and CO groups of the main chain. Here in this diagram we can see the structure of alpha helix. Here we can see a vertical black line which is the axis of the helix, and each turn is formed by 3.6 residues of amino acids, and the distance between each amino acid residue is 1.5 angstrom. A helix can be described by the number of units, that is amino acid residues per turn, which is denoted by the number n, and by its pitch, which is denoted by letter P, and which is the distance that the helix rises along its axis per turn. These parameters are indicated in for a number of helices. In proteins, n is rarely a whole number. Here we should remember an important point, that is, if viewed along its axis, the chain turns either in a clockwise direction, we will call it a right-handed helix, or in anti-clockwise direction, we will call it left-handed helix. For example, which I will show you in the next slide, the helices B and D are respectively right and left-handed. By convention, the number of repeating units n is positive for a right-handed helix and negative for a left-handed helix. Here we can see in this diagram, these are the examples of helices indicating the parameters of pitch, that is P, and the number of units per turn n, and the handedness, that is it is left-handed or right-handed, that is either plus or negative. The black circles in this figure denote the amino acid residues. That the black dots which we are seeing here represent the amino acids. Each turn is formed by 3.6 residues, as I had told you earlier, and the distance between each amino acid residue is 1.5 angstrom. The alpha helix is generally right-handed. Left-handed helices are very rare because amino acids found in proteins are of L variety, which exclude the left-handedness. Proline and hydroxyproline are the examples which don't allow the formation of alpha helix. Now we come to the beta pleated sheets. This structure occurs when two or more segments of a polypeptide chain overlap one another and form a row of hydrogen bonds with each other. The beta pleated sheet, in the beta pleated structure, the polypeptide chains are almost fully extended. The distance between adjacent amino acids is 3.5 angstrom, and the beta pleated structure is stabilized by hydrogen bonds between NH and CO groups of the neighboring polypeptide segments. Adjacent strands in a sheet can run in the same direction with regard to the amino and the carboxy terminal ends of the polypeptide chain. this we will call the parallel arrangement, or they may run in the opposite direction. This is called anti-parallel beta sheet. As we can see here, the structure of beta pleated sheet, where the hydrogen bonds are formed between adjacent or the neighboring polypeptide chains. Parallel and anti-parallel arrangements is the direct consequence of the directionality of the polypeptide chain. In the anti-parallel arrangement, the C terminus end of one segment is on the same side as the N terminus end of the another segment. In parallel arrangement, the C terminus end and the N terminus end are on the same sides of both the segment. This point is very, very important. Here we can see the parallel arrangement in this figure, and in this figure we can see the anti-parallel arrangement. Beta pleated sheet is the major structural motif in proteins like silk fibrin, which has anti-parallel arrangement, flavodoxin, which has parallel arrangement, and carbonic anhydrase, which has both parallel and anti-parallel arrangements of the sheets. Beta bands may be formed in many proteins by the abrupt U-turn folding of the chain. Interchain disulfide bridges stabilize these bands. So, this was all about the secondary structure of proteins. In our next lecture, we will discuss the tertiary and quaternary structures of proteins as well as the functions of the proteins. Thank you. Have a nice day.